Don't forget to subscribe to the MFine channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any update.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Vignan. I'm a sports medicine doctor and I work with MFine. So today I'm going to talk about why people have been gaining quarantine weight and also what you can do to lose all the extra weight that you've gained during the quarantine. So some people have been in quarantine for almost 1 to 1.5 years. They've been working from home. This means that they've been sitting for longer periods of time. They have less movement. They walk around lesser. Whereas when you're at office, you're actually walking between cubicle and cubicle. And because of this, you are more sedentary. Also, people have been snacking or binge eating quite a bit because you're sitting in one place, and snacking just helps you to, stay motivated and stay focused. People have been following some sort of home exercise routine, but that's not been as effective as going to a gym or joining a workout group is. So now that we have covered why we have gained all the quarantine weight, let's talk about a couple of precautions that you should be taking before you try to lose weight. So one thing that I always advise people is not to start too quickly. This is because you want to have a goal and you don't want to get injured while you're trying to achieve that goal. So I would say that take it slow, progress very, very slowly. If you know that you're prone to injuries, I suggest that you work with a coach or a trainer. Second thing is try to only go for about 500 to 700 grams of weight loss every week. This is a very safe target. If you try to achieve too much more, like maybe 1.5 to 2 kgs, it can lead to injuries or it can lead to other problems because you're overworking your body, and in the long term you may get some weight loss, but you're likely to put it all back on as soon as you stop. Now the third thing to watch out for is related to the ligaments, the joints and the tendons. So the muscles in our body tend to they regenerate, they get stronger much quicker than the ligaments, all the things that hold the joints together. So the ligaments and tendons, they tend to get stronger slower. So you want to take it slow. Assume that the ligaments and the tendons are your limiting factors. Even if you're able to progress or you're able to lift heavier, I would suggest that you take it slow. Only go for maybe 0.5 kilograms per week of progression of the exercise. Do not go too far too quickly. Do not increase your mileage too quickly. If you're walking, do not increase your running mileage or your walking mileage too quickly. Do not do too much more activity than the previous week. Alright, now that we've covered all the precautions, let's get to what you should be doing in week 1 and week 2 of your workouts. So I would suggest that you start with any kind of workout routine that you're familiar with. I would suggest you start with 3 days of strength training, and the remaining 3 days you can do anything like brisk walking, or if you enjoy a game of badminton or tennis or anything else, you can also do that as well. So 3 days of easy activity like badminton or any sport that you do for about 20 minutes. So that's going to be maybe Monday, Wednesday and Friday. The remaining 3 days you can do strength training or you can follow a customized program. I'll be sharing details of the customized program that you can follow in the upcoming videos. Let's talk about how you can structure your workout so that it's effective for you. Always do your workouts by starting with a warm-up and then have the main set of the workout and then you have the cool down. It's very important to go in this order so that you do not get injured. Warm-up is a way for you to loosen up all the muscles in your body, activate them to prevent them from getting injured. In the main set of the exercise, you can do any kind of exercise. I personally like to compartmentalize workouts into upper body, the core and then the lower body. So I'll be giving you workout examples that you can do, but you can follow basic workouts and then slowly progress from there. I'll also share progressions that you can do so that you improve. Finally, in the cool down, what you want to do is bring your heart rate back down so that you're not getting injured again. Also, you may want to do some static stretching in order to let the body recover and let the body heal so that you're ready for the next day, and also you're ready to get on with the next part of your day, whether be it going to work or if you want to just turn in for the night.
You can start warming up by doing spot jogging, or you can do a couple of jumping jacks. You can go for about 10 to 15 of each, or you can go for up to 2-3 sets as required so that your whole body is warm. After you've done the warm up, you can do a couple of stretches and you can get into the next segment, which is to do a little bit of strength training. So strength training will be divided into 3 parts. One will be the upper body, and then the core, and lastly the lower body. In upper body, as you can see, I'm doing bicep curls to help you to build up strength in the bicep muscles. You can also do push-ups, which will also help you to build up chest, biceps and tricep muscles. After you're done with push-ups, you can get into flutter kicks or flutters, which you can do about 10 to 15 reps and take a break of 30 to 45 seconds and then do another set. You can also do crunches. Ensure that you have good form when you're doing crunches. After you completed 2 of these sets, go on to back raises. If you find the back raise difficult, try it with upper body only and then try it with lifting the legs only while your upper body is resting on the floor. When doing lower body workouts, the most important workout is to do a squat. Ensure that your knees are behind your toes. You're sitting backwards as if you were to be sitting on a chair. You don't always have to go parallel to the ground. You can instead just do a half squat where you're just squatting a little bit. The next exercise that you can try is lunges, where you take a step back. Ensure that both your front knee and your back knee is at 90 degrees so that you're not getting injured. Both of these exercises you can do 10 to 15 reps and then take a break of up to 1 minute or 2 minutes as required for you to recover. The last exercise that you can do to train your lower body is the calf raise. Calf raises will help you to tone your calf muscles, and what you want to do is try to keep it balanced. Lift your legs off the ground till you are on your toes. This will help you to strengthen and contract your calf muscles and also give you an overall physique and help you to tone your muscles.
So quarantine weight loss is not just about exercising. Exercising is just one part of the picture. What you also have to do is control your diet, or at least modify your diet. I don't like to give very big drastic diet changes. What I can suggest are a few things that you can try. One is definitely learn how to track your macros. Macros are the macronutrients inside your diet. These are the carbohydrates, the proteins, and the fats. So track them, calculate approximately how many calories you're taking per day. For example, carbohydrates are 4 calories per gram. Proteins are 4 calories per gram and fats are 9 calories per gram. Once you have a rough idea of your intake, you want to go into a calorie deficit of about 500 per day. This will give you a net loss of approximately 700 grams per week. Now, another thing that I find beneficial for me or for my athletes is that we try to go for a higher protein diet. We also try to reduce the amount of processed foods in the diet. What are processed foods versus unprocessed foods? Processed foods are things like bread, pancake, cakes, flour, anything that involves the original food product being processed to get to the end food product. What are unprocessed food? Whole grains, vegetables, leafy vegetables, fruits. These are examples of unprocessed foods. So increase the amount of unprocessed foods in your diet, reduce the amount of processed food in your diet. This is definitely going to help you to lose weight. You're also going to notice a lot of benefits like glowing skin because of the increased vitamins that you get. Processed food reduces the amount of nutrients and the amount of vitamins that you have in food. Do watch out for the next videos where we go more in detail about what are the kind of exercises you can do, how do you progress your workout so that you're improving every week, and also how you make sure that you're not going to gain the weight that you've lost back.
Don't forget to like and share this video. For more such videos, do subscribe to the M Fine channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any update.